Hello, my name is Jon Sermon. I'm a church leader based in the UK, and I'm committed to frequently recording short messages of encouragement during this COVID-19 pandemic. And today I've got one for you that actually came out of our Zoom prayer meeting this morning. And we were looking briefly at one of the accounts from the early church in the book of Acts, which is in the New Testament part of the Bible, how some of the first followers of Jesus were beginning to bring good news to other people. And in particular, this is recorded in Acts chapter 10, and then later we get an explanation in Acts chapter 11, when other church leaders were questioning the one called Peter about what had happened. And you see, the thing is that the Jewish people at the time of Jesus genuinely thought that God's blessing was only for Jewish people and not for the outsiders. The Gentiles, as the official name for outsiders was from their point of view. And so when Peter was challenged in a vision from God to take the good news of Jesus Christ to people who were Gentiles, well, it was a big mindset readjustment for him. And even when it had happened and it was clear that it was a God-driven initiative, inviting the people who were thought of as outsiders in, even then some of the other church leaders doubted that what Peter had done was right until he'd fully explained the circumstances to them. Now, the encouragement that comes out of this for us today is this, that there was a situation of an assumption that some people were thought of as outsiders, and God intervened to bring them in. Today, many of us may assume that we are outside God's blessing and God's provision and God's care, God's love. And often, sadly, even figures within the church have given us that impression. I heard a suggestion that some people whose lifestyle may be somewhat unconventional in one way or another often seem to think that going to the church would be going somewhere to receive a condemnation. Now, sadly, that has sometimes proved true for people. But the exact opposite should be the case. Church is meant to be a place of encouragement, a place of welcome, a place of unconditional receiving who you are, because that's how God sees you. Now, it's not true that that means how we behave doesn't matter. If we do stuff that's contrary to God's plans, that's harmful to ourselves and others, of course that matters, and it needs to be dealt with. But God is the God of love and the God of forgiveness who provides the way of dealing with it. And so, as we prayed this through, we were really encouraged to pray for the whole community, the whole nation, even the whole world. But obviously, in many ways, the community around where we're based was the focus of our prayers. For the people who think of themselves as outsiders, and you may be among them, who think, well, I wouldn't be welcomed by God or welcomed by the church. And the reality is, you would. You are. God loves you and wants to welcome you in. And here we are, still struggling with a very difficult situation in terms of the effect the pandemic has had and is still having. Yet, realizing that God is here with us and wanting to welcome us all, from those who feel we're outsiders to be insiders, because of his love for us. That's an encouragement. God bless you.